So I'm talking about John Salient's Further Liberty in 1776, which is the life and thoughts of Lemuel Haynes. Lemuel Haynes was a half white, half black man. He was born in 1753, and his writings really started becoming more popular in around 1775. He was a minister, and most notably, he was a abolitionist who was really focused on ending the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. But the ultimate goal was to end slavery altogether. I contend that a lot of Lemuel's work was kind of a foundation for future abolitionists, black abolitionists, such as Oladi Equino and Frederick Douglass, especially based on the concepts of unalienable rights. In one of his more popular essays, Lemuel wrote, "Liberty and freedom is an innate principle. It is immovably placed in the human species, and to see a man aspire after it is not enigmatical, seeing that he acts no way incompatible with his own nature. Liberty is a jewel which must be handed down from man to from the cabinet of heaven." So I feel like that's a really important line from his essay. You see a lot of that in Frederick Douglass' essay, which was an oration for the 4th of July, where he says, "You declare before the world, and you understand by the world to declare that you hold these truths to be self-evident, and that all men are created equal and endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You hold secure, you hold tight to the bondage of which we put the African Americans in." So you see a lot of similarities there between those two writings. And there's other ones like Henry David Thoreau, which was the mid 1800s, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. They were both prominent abolitionists who really like pounded down on this unalienable rights. But I think that more importantly, it was Haynes' biblical interpretations for a post-slavery society. He felt like during this time of American Revolution that we could rebuild a nation and give those unalienable rights to all men, whether they're black or white or Indian. He really seen that as like it's for everybody. So he rejected the curse of Ham justification, which Europeans and whites used to enslave Americans, contending that the New Testament outlawed slavery altogether, drawing parallels between biblical narratives and the abolitionist cause. He envisioned the oppressed finding solace and justice in divine prophecies, not just certain groups of people. Haynes' sermons emphasized the transition from the Old to the New Testament, correlating it with the move from slavery to freedom. And he saw abolitionist cause as an empirical process of recognizing the immortality of slavery, urging a readjustment of vision among Christians and Republicans. He was optimistic. He was really, I think this is a great part of it, he was optimistic about the birth of a new nation, and he considered the abolition of slavery to be the true test of nationhood, aligning it with personal, political, and racial transitions. I think we see a lot of this during this time, and even Thomas Jefferson would say that slavery is worse than ages of that which your fathers rose in rebellion to oppose. So there was a lot of people who was really anti-slavery at this time. They just couldn't get that economic backing to kind of push forward through this into a post-slavery society. So I think I'm glad that I read this. I wasn't really aware of Lemuel Haynes, and it's really interesting. I'm going to go back into it and read it a little more, especially with his comments on the concept of Islam and the Muslim contributing to the transatlantic slave trade, and how they played a part in that. That's all I have time for today. I appreciate your time. Please ask me questions. I could talk about this for an hour. So, and this is a really short video. So I appreciate you listening, and I hope to hear from you soon, and have a good week.